We begin a new Sefer Shemos. In Sefer Shemos, we're told that Moshe Rabbeinu would not nurse on any Egyptian woman. Rashi tells us. Now, how could a 3-month-old know enough to know if she's Egyptian or she's not Egyptian that he would refuse to nurse from her? So Rabbi Kaplan brings from Rav Olba that you see from here that every person has innate Kedusha. And the holier we are, the more sensitive we are to Kedusha. So Moshe Rabbeinu was on a high level of Kedusha, of holiness, of sanctity, even at such a young age, that his innate Kedusha sensed that these are not the women that he's going to nurse from. And that's something that we see even by animals. The Gemara in Chulin tells us that the donkey of Rav Pinchas ben Yair wouldn't eat from food that Meiser wasn't taken off of, that the tithes weren't taken off of. You see, sometimes there's people and animals have an innate sensitivity and an innate Kedusha to them that are going to stay away from things that are detrimental to them. So we see that both by the donkey of Rav Pinchas ben Yair, and we see in this parsha Moshe Rabbeinu. And that's a lesson for us to remember that we have innate Kedusha, and the more that we get in touch with it, the more we will become sensitive to Kedusha, to holiness. The second thing is, from Rabbi Elephant, it says, Vayar b'sivlaisam. Moshe Rabbeinu saw our suffering. And Rashi says, he was nasan einov v'libo. Lios meitzar aleim. He put his heart and his eyes to feel the pain of the Jewish people. Now that language is a very similar language that was used in last week's parsha, the beginning of Parshas Vayechi. Rashi tells us that the Gullus started, the exile started, and what happened? Nistimu eineim b'liban shel Yisrael. Our eyes and heart got clogged up once the Gullus started. Once the exile started, our eyes and heart weren't functioning the way they were supposed to. And we see here Moshe was nasan einav v'libo. He gave his heart and his eyes to feel the pain of the Jewish people. The eyes always refers to the intellect, and the heart refers to the emotion. Now, lest one think this was a natural trait for Moshe Rabbeinu, Rabbi Elvin points out, nasan's a verb. He actively had to go and feel the pain of the Jewish people. In fact, the Medrash points out that Hashem told Moshe, you grew up in Paro's palace, you had a nice life, and yet you went outside of your comfort zone for the Jewish people. I'm going to, so to speak, leave my comfort zone, Shemayim, the heavens, and go give the Jewish people the Torah. So you see that Moshe Rabbeinu had to leave his comfort zone. He had to come out of himself, out of his own world, to feel the plight, to feel the pain of the Jewish people. The ability to come out of one's comfort zone, says Rabbi Elephant, is going to be the opening to the Exodus. That is the opening to the Geula. This Sefer is called the Sefer HaGeula, the book of redemption. And we see by Moshe Rabbeinu time and time again, the first 3 stories we know about him is feeling the pain of the Jewish people. Because when one is able to come out of their own comfort zone for another Jew, that's step 1. Step 2 is going to be you're able to come out of your comfort zone for Hashem. And hopefully, Mida Keneged Mida, Hashem repays us by later on in the parsha. It says, Vayeda Elokim, Hashem knew. He knew our pain. Wasn't he knew our pain? Says Rashi, Nasan Aleim Leiv, Velo Hel and Einov. Hashem gave us his heart, so to speak, and he didn't conceal his eyes. Eyes by Hashem means hashgacha pratis. He was, so to speak, focused on us, and his heart was there with us. So the way to begin the redemption, to expedite the redemption, to cause the redemption is the ability to come out of one's comfort zone. If we're able to come out of our comfort zone, so then hopefully Hashem will, so to speak, come out of his comfort zone, and we'll see much more hashgacha pratis in the world. And then that eyes and heart that was clogged up in Parshas Vayechi, it was sasum, it was nistam. Hopefully, as every Jew begins to follow and replicate Moshe Rabbeinu and emulate him by coming out of our comfort zone for other people and coming out of our comfort zone for Hashem, then hopefully Hashem will repay and, so to speak, come out of his comfort zone, and will be shown much more hashgacha pratis, and will feel much more of his love. Have a good chance.